I'm back, gamers. Hello, this is the Peanut Buffer. You may have noticed it's been like 4 months since my last upload to YouTube. It's probably been even longer since I recorded because I think I just let that one sit on my hard drive for a while, but I'm getting back to it. I'm continuing my questionable decision to redub the latter parts of my Rage playthrough because I was a fool and did not record the microphone in that recording session. Just double checking right now. I am recording my mic on this. I did a little testing. Hopefully, it sounds good. We're doing it live. Well, actually, no, we're not doing it live because I decided I'm not going to stream. I think part of the reason I was having trouble before keeping up with stuff is just streaming is difficult for me. Um, but I think I've decided I'm going to move to more Let's Play style content. Going to be just recording it myself, putting it out in smaller chunks. I think that'll work a lot better for me. We'll just experiment, see where this goes. But without any further ado, we're going to continue with this final part of Rage. When I recorded it, I originally recorded, 2 hours of a penultimate part, and then I thought that the last part was going to be just as long, and ended up being like 30 minutes. So I'm just going to lump them together, make it about the runtime of Everything Everywhere All at Once. I love that movie. Just watched it again. I'm going to make it about 2.5 hours. This will be the finale. Might be a little less if I jump around the video a bit. We'll see. But we are back. We are raging. I told you my plans for the future. Once I finish this, I'm going to start uploading Rage 2, and it's going to be great, and this journey will continue unless I give it up again, which hopefully I will not, but let's go. Okay, so, okay. Last time, we were back in the Blue Line subway kind of place. Uh, Honestly, I forget exactly why. Maybe I should have done better research. Content creator of the year over here. But anyway, we're taking this nice long look at this Cola Kong machine. Just really, really want to drink one of those sodas. Okay, it looks like I forgot what I was doing here back then as well. But okay, so Shrouded Clan attacking the station. We just got to take out some bandits. One moment. Why did the video capture go away? That's bizarre. Hello? Hmm. Well, I guess we'll just do it like this then. Uh, that's fine. Can I? Good thing I'm not doing this live because I can edit this down pretty well. Can I make it hide? Yes, automatically hide. Okay, that'll be better. Okay, sorry about that. Let's keep going. Okay, so we're taking out the Shrouded Clan in the subway. Um, okay, there we go. Now we got this nice full screen action. Oh man, I always forget how much I really like the particle effects and like that water coming down and all the dust floating in the air. I I have to imagine that was like one of their big features for the engine, which is it IdTech 5? It's one of the IdTechs. I don't know at the moment, but along with those notorious mega textures. Oh yes, there I am. Yeah, I'm back. Back to trying to do this content creation thing. Um, oh, oh man, I'm getting so nostalgic for Rage, and as we've established, it hasn't been that long since I last played it. Um, but yeah, man, there's so many just environmental details going on that I don't know. Maybe they don't really have lore significance or anything, but I think it they put in a lot of detail in these environments to really make them seem like actual places with stuff going on, and they're just grimy and dingy, so it looks like they're lived in, I guess. and they've set some like really cool atmosphere with the lighting and the fog effects and things. And yeah, there's some really cool like level design elements. Like, I mean, honestly, I don't know that much about like level design in a gameplay sense. I kind of get some of the concepts, especially in like competitive games, but not really that much. But you know, I think so. I have done theater in the past, mostly acting, but you know, I feel like there is a connection to be made between level design in a game and set design in I accidentally threw that boomerang there for no reason. Um, Between level design in a game and like set design in a play or movie, and you know, I think it comes down to a few things. One of the big ones that sticks out to me is, you know, you want to give the audience a view of enough of the environment to make them believe that it's real, that it goes on much farther than it does. But you also, you know, take into consideration what are you not going to include so that things aren't over encumbered. Like in live theater, you know, if you have like the facade of a house, you want to make it believable that like, hey, this extends on. It has all the rooms. It has all four sides to the house. It has a backyard. It has an upstairs, a basement, whatever. But you know, it's unreasonable to just actually build a whole house for a play, at least in most cases. Um, so you know, you're building just enough of it that the audience can suspend their disbelief and say, okay, this is an entire house. And you know, part of that comes down to how the actors interact with it, how they move in and out of the space, things like that. Similarly, in games, like it is oftentimes unreasonable to actually build out the entirety of the suggested environment, you know, because there is, you know, limited memory for the game. You don't want to be rendering things that the audience will never see, or, you know, in a game's case, the audience is generally the player. But especially in games, because the player can move around and look at things at whatever angle they want and really close up, you really truly have to build out even more of a facade, it's like a theme park attraction, really, where, you know, I don't know if you're in the Peter Pan ride at Disney World. You know, they try to make you really believe that you are floating above the city of London at that one part, and there's just this like it looks like this vast like bird's eye view of the city. I think I'm thinking of the right ride. Um, but you know, they achieve that through like making it dark and having like models that kind of force the perspective and things like that. And you're really just in like a room that's like not a whole lot bigger than kind of the space needed for the car to go through, but because of, you know, their lighting, their coloring tricks, the forced perspective of the models, all that they can make you believe to an extent that you are actually shut up, Microsoft, go away. They can make you believe to an extent that you are in this situation that they are suggesting that would actually be totally unreasonable. Now, in the example I gave, of course, it's extra unreasonable because you can't just fly over the city of London with pixie dust unless there's something I've really been missing out on in my life. Um, but I mean, I think that whole concept is a part of what's really driven a lot of my interests, because like I do really enjoy theater, theme parks, and video games, and I think they all tie together in the idea of creating these illusions to persuade the audience into believing a grander fantasy than you can like literally present to them in a way. I'm sure that you know kind of gets stretched when you get to, you know, certain pieces or certain ways of telling stories. Like in theater, you know, sometimes you can do stuff that's like really avant-garde with no set, or you know, sometimes like, you know, like black box and things like that. But that's not. I mean, it's still to a point they want you to believe in something with that, where like the actors will commit to interacting with those things like they are the actual objects. or they will put some blocks together to suggest just enough of a thing to help you believe it. Um, and I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of talking in circles about this at the moment. But I just really think that, man, especially in video games, like with how much interactivity and control players usually get, how you have to like see like those mountains way in the back. There's no way that they actually built out all the landscaping that goes up to it, and all the ravines and like barely alive plants and all that things. Like that's probably just like a texture that has some like bump mapping or something to it, so that from this distance it looks like it has true dimension. Uh, but in reality, it's just like basically two dimensional. uh, just always crashing the car because it keeps its momentum when you get out of the car seat. I died here. Wow. I guess those bandits I was shooting at must have followed me, and I'm still very very bad at the resuscitation mini game. All right, we're going to the power plant. Um, okay, let's see. Unfortunately, I don't quite remember where we get to from this point. Um, is this the level with the elevator? It might be. Huh, so these guys are supplying sentries for Mutant Bash TV? Or maybe I misunderstood. Maybe it's just while they were watching Mutant Bash, this person noticed that the sentries in this shop were. There's a some kind of comic book there that has a terrible, like low quality texture on it. Can't really tell what it's supposed to be. And some delicious flan or something. Maybe one of those sticky buns from Skyrim got left out too long. Is that someone famous? I almost feel like I recognize like the posture of that photo, but I feel like that's also like a very like generic pose for a photo. Probably. I don't know. There's probably a bunch of tiny Easter eggs in this game I don't even know about. I don't even know if that would be one of them. But okay, okay, we got some more puzzle mechanics here. The thing with puzzles is the first time it teaches you the thing, it's usually not a puzzle. It's just literally like here's the mechanics, so you can actually apply it to a puzzle later. Huh. I wonder if that security camera probably doesn't have any mechanical significance. I feel like something would have happened because it definitely saw me there. Ah man, that's got me thinking about like I'm pretty sure I talked about it in past episodes. Just like if they had made like if they had branched off the Rage series so that we still got Rage 2 and all its like hyper excessive like super powered run and gun gameplay, but also got the other elements of this first game and made like a kind of like a slower paced, more puzzle heavy, like immersive sim style game. Oh, that would have been so cool. Where and there'd be like security cameras that could watch you, and there'd be like I don't know, like you could use crossbow bolts, the electric ones, to like disable the camera for a while, and then maybe that might draw some level of suspicion, but they might not catch on immediately, and they won't know that it's you that's there. Like man, immersive sims are so cool, and it's so unfortunate that they usually don't really. Well, I don't know necessarily that they don't sell that well, but there's this whole idea of like the MSim curse, where like just things go wrong during development. Um, but I mean, there's still I think a lot of fantastic sim games that have come out. Uh, I mean, of course, like there's Thief is one of the really big ones. The upcoming Gloomwood. Yeah, okay. I always got to check myself, make sure I'm not mixing it with Gloomhaven, which is also an incredible game, but extremely different. Um, Gloomwood is, oh my god, go away. Gloomwood is a basically thief with guns. And I haven't kept an eye like that strictly on recent development, but I played the demo back when that came out, and that was so much fun. It's got like this kind of like Bloodborne theming to it, um, and it has very like thief like stealth mechanics. I think they're working with like some variation of like sound propagation and things like that. Um, but that's coming from New Blood, which also did like Dusk, a medieval, Unfortunate Spaceman, a lot of really cool games. Mostly known for retro shooters, but that's not all they do. That's I think they're definitely trying to branch out with Gloomwood for that. Man, I really should finish Dusk and a Medieval one of these days. Those games are real good. Okay, here we go. Here's that puzzle solving I talked about. We met the mechanic earlier where we know like these yellow boxes control the zappy things. So that if I just shoot the yellow box, we're good to go. Man, with all the like scavenging, like I definitely feel like this game had a lot of ambitions that weren't quite met, and I feel like that's probably why there is kind of an awkwardness to the way it all comes together. And I don't necessarily mean that as a detriment. I still do really like this game, and I think some of its charm comes from that awkwardness. Um, but I think I mentioned this in another part, but just a documentary on the development of this game, how different choices came to be, that kind of thing, how that all just went about. I think that would be so cool. Uh, I think the first time I heard mention of this game, it was an article that said something about like Bethesda was passing the game down to id Software. I could be misremembering that, or maybe I misunderstood it at the time even. But it sounded like this was going to be a like Bethesda proper project, and then it got moved down to id, and so that's probably where some of, if that is the case of what happened, that probably is where some of the design decisions came from, where they wanted to give it like this huge open world kind of RPG, but not really esque scope, based on Bethesda games like Skyrim, Fallout 3, etc. But then id Software is known for their shooters that are all about the shooting and the action. And so those melded together to create this really interesting game that like, is it the best game ever? No. Is it a very fun and at times kind of unique game? I think so. I feel like a lot of other people would agree with me. I feel like they would say it's very mid, I suppose. But I don't know. I feel like a lot of times there are things that to a lot of people are mid, but for those that stick around for them and like really see all the little details that are like trying to do things or almost just like accomplish things in a weird way, they gain like a really big appreciation for that. I guess that's the whole point of like how like cult classics and stuff come about. Um, I guess Rage probably fits in the cult classic category, because I mean it. We got Rage 2, so I feel like that probably never would have gotten greenlit if this game wasn't like somewhat successful, or at least like the audience online hadn't seemed big enough to warrant that sequel. I mean, I guess there's a possibility that people at id and or Avalanche I think it was Avalanche, were just so passionate about what they could do with Rage that they just pushed forward with it without regard to um, if there was the audience or not, which seems really unlikely. I mean, for like a company as big as Bethesda, and no, they no, of course they weren't owned by Microsoft. Yeah, that was a pretty recent thing, I think. I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were not under Microsoft yet, but still, like Bethesda's a big company. There's almost no way that they would approve a project that didn't seem guaranteed to like make money. And I really have no idea what the stats are on Rage One or Two. But I mean, I'm glad both games exist. I really like both games. As you can probably tell by the multiple hours I've recorded of myself playing these two games. Especially as like my first games, like I don't know. I I guess I could have subjected myself to some game that I hate to start my content with, but why would I do that? Why would I do that to myself? Yes, a classic of my arsenal, just standing still, changing weapons while something shoots me. Yeah. I don't think I've ever gotten good at a game. I've gotten kind of passable, sort of, at some things. Yeah, I just don't think. I just don't think the neither the like the dexterity required or the like what would be the best term, the like the ability to analyze the game state and come up with the best strategy, whatever you would call that. I don't think either of those are my strong suits. Maybe sometimes in like a turn-based game where I just have all the time in the world to like really think about it and put a plan into motion. Maybe I can get there with that. The big maybe. But like, especially like anything real time, anything competitive, like like I really enjoy a lot of the concepts in fighting games. I think it's fun to learn a character and try to string moves together. I could not even approach being competitive with that. That is far and away not in my repertoire. Um, Competitive shooters. I mean, something like Call of Duty or Halo has never really stuck with me. But like, I've gotten in and out of TF2 over the years, and I can maybe sort of see like semi-competitive, maybe if I put in a lot more hours. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm into games as a casual anyway. As I've said to like friends I've had in the past, like I don't play games to win. I play to have fun. But oh my, so many notifications go away. Um, which I mean, the time I'm thinking about when I said that to someone, I was thinking about like single player games, and it's like, well, I mean, if I'm just not having fun with the game anymore, why am I gonna keep playing it? I don't need to see the story out to the end. Which I think is a kind of an interesting diversion between interactive media and non-interactive. Like if you're watching a movie that is just so fun for like the first hour or so, and then the last like 40 minutes or whatever is just kind of like, okay, we know we kind of got the point. We're just taking this very long, slow descent toward the end or whatever. Like you can still be like, it's just another 40 minutes, whatever, and that's just fine because that's not taking that much time, that much like investment of your brain power. Really, I feel like there's probably people who are gonna disagree with me. That's like, no, it's not worth your time at all. But I don't know. I feel like I feel like it's easier to push through a bad movie than it is to push through a bad game. Partially just because, like, you know, games take so much longer of a time investment to get through. Like, if if a game takes an hour and a half to play, I mean, I'm sure you can find examples of like some like indie game or something that maybe like tells a nice story or gives you a nice experience that all wraps up in an hour and a half or whatever. But that's definitely not the norm, and I feel like the majority of the way games are designed, that would feel like way too short. I feel like the majority of the way games are designed, at least the way that games have historically been designed and they continue to be designed, the majority of what games get made, if they are less than a few hours, they probably don't feel like they went much of anywhere. But I think that paradigm is shifting a lot, especially as the indie scene's been around for a long time, and I feel like it just keeps revving up and getting bigger and bigger with what creators can do, how many different games are coming out, what different experiences they make. Like I've gotten back into the Forgotten City recently, which is a game that's like 90% talking to people. Like, go away not to edit that. Without spoiling too much. You are trying to solve this mystery about what's going to happen to this city. And the way you solve this mystery is largely by talking to people. Every once in a while, there is like a kind of an action-oriented segment, but like I honestly think that is like 10% or less of the game. The majority of the game is talking to people, unraveling mysteries, finding out new information to go back and talk to those people about, and like it is so engrossing to me, which would probably be surprising to people that have looked at like my history of games that I usually play, like fast-paced shooters, action games, fighting games, stuff like that, where like you know your core engagement is how you destroy other things. But I think part of that is a product of just like what what sells well in gaming. Like AAA games, you are going to be hard pressed to find a game that doesn't have killing or destroying as a main mechanic, unless you're going to like sports games. I think. Yeah, I don't think there's like dominating the market right now is like Call of Duty, Overwatch 2, um, God of War, which I mean, I've for the most part enjoyed those games. Like I love God of War. I don't think there's anything wrong with games that involve killing. I mean, obviously, like Rage is a very violent game. I don't have any issues with that. And I think it's one of those situations where we don't have too much of column A, we don't have enough of column B. Um, and I mean, sure, the indie realm, the indie game community industry. I don't know why I'm not grasping the right word right now. They have tons of games where killing is not the main point. And like, well, I mean, example, Undertale is huge, and sure, you can play a route where you kill all sorts of things in that game, but it also has the route where you try not to kill anything. You try to go through a pacifist, and that's like a legitimate like core built-in part of the game. Um, and I think that there is a lot of unexplored like game design space in non-violence in games, where I think a lot of really interesting mechanics, storytelling ideas, all sorts of things can be discovered by you know designers taking up the challenge of making games that don't rely on violence. I mean, like Valve with Portal. Portal is a game where you practically don't kill anything. You kind of break some robots here and there, but it's not killing. The majority of that game is solving your puzzles with your portals and the physics of how the jumping works and all that kind of stuff. Um, and I guess it does just kind of come around to a thing of how the industry works and money that uh, you know those games that are not that violent don't have that broad of an appeal outside of like I am plenty smart. Sorry, I'm getting off on such huge tangents and not paying attention to the game. Uh, but just in that thought, unless it's like a big pillar of gaming like Mario, where even Mario is kind of violent, like you jump on the Goomba and it squishes and disappears. That's essentially killing it. Um, but yeah, just I think there's a lot of cool game design that can be made in making non-violent games that I just think has not been tapped into and could be really really cool. So yeah, these guys basically just tried to kill me with an elevator, but I have a friggin' super resuscitator thing. So I don't know what I mean. In most situations in this game, it's one of those weird things where if you actually did it in gameplay, you would probably die, but because it's a cutscene, you're fine. But yeah, I mean, my character is so powerful. Essentially, within the context of this world, there's they were kind of foolish to think that would kill me. I feel like. I know we've seen it happen a few times here, but I just think these mind control bolts are so cool. It's just kind of unfortunate that they make the character you control so slow, so you can barely position them at all, and it just feels like you're trudging through molasses or something. If they just moved a little bit faster, that would be such a finely. I don't necessarily want to say finely tuned, but I feel like that would be a good just little change to it. So you tag someone, start mind controlling to make them you don't have to necessarily make them fast, but just faster. Just walk them over to their friends, boom, they explode, kill a bunch of their guys. Um, yeah, and I mean, I guess if this game was really more set up in to actually be more of an RPG esque you're actually scrounging up materials and stuff, and they could actually make mind control bolts a little bit more scarce or harder to get the parts for, because you would actually have to go out and explore and find them in all these weird little places. Maybe that could balance them out more, because I think as it stands, they try to make it feel like you're really scavenging and stuff, but it's just right there in the levels. So stuff is as plentiful as they actually put out for you. So I don't know. It's a weird thing where I guess they kind of balanced it by making the person slow rather than decreasing the amount of ammo. Because I would just suck. If you just missed it in one level, it's well, that's kind of it. Versus if it was actually fully open and you were actually scavenging things, and you'd be oh, I can make mind control bolts now. I can do this really cool thing, and you didn't necessarily just miss the stuff in one level. I mean, you should know that there's an intruder here by now. You guys tried to drop me with an elevator. I think I was trying to interact with the computer screen there, trying to do the something akin to the Doom secret. Yes, fighting turret with turret. I also got more armor though. Good thing I've got the authority rounds, which just tear through most things. I feel like this game does do a pretty good job of like, since it sits, somewhere between a classic-ish style shooter and like a kind of and like open world longer form game. I think it does a pretty good job of like keeping up your power scaling. Well, like it starts out you've like just got the pistol that just has like the basic bullets, and then you get the shotgun, you get different kinds of pistol ammo, and you build up. You get the machine gun with the authority rounds that tears through things. Um, you get the crossbow that at first is just like, okay, I can like shoot a bolt and it like works kind of like a sniper rifle, but then you get the electric rounds which will stun people if you shoot them in water. They'll stun a bunch of people and do a bunch of damage. You get the mind control bolts to let you explode people. You get the rocket launcher, which I mean, a lot of that, I, you know, I'm not, I'm not going to pretend that there aren't like pretty strong analogs to that in other games. Like rocket launchers have been in that first-person shooters since Doom, at least. I forget if Wolfenstein 3D had them, but I don't think so. Um, but I think id Software did really well to kind of bridge the gap between like like something like Quake and Borderlands in making this game. And I think the alternate ammo types are a really smart part of that system, because it essentially allows them to make a lot more guns without making a lot more guns, while still keeping everything like handcrafted and specific. Unlike, like, I feel like a Borderlands system where I ran straight into the blades there. That was shameful. But like the Borderlands system where it like randomizes the gun parts and makes like 100 million guns or whatever, like that works really well for Borderlands. It would not work in this game. So I think having that kind of mix and match idea, and like the pop rockets for the shotgun that kind of turn it into like a mini, like somewhere between a rocket and a grenade launcher, I'd say. Ideas like that are really fun. Unfortunately, I think at least when I play, like there are some ammo types that I just don't use, like the electric shot on the shotgun, except maybe in very specific situations where like I need to like deactivate an electric thing, like the authority guys that have the big energy shields. Sometimes I might use that if I don't have the electric bolts for the crossbow. But yeah, I guess technically, what grinders are worth it. I was just kind of thinking now that there's not really a whole lot that I get out of that room. But I mean, I guess it's like, what was it, like three semi-common items you combine together and make a lock grinder that then gets consumed to let you open a room that gives you like at least five items, not necessarily refunding what you spent, and I think usually around half of it is junk. So I don't know. I don't know what the cost benefit analysis would be on that. I mean, it definitely doesn't feel like um, like it doesn't feel like, oh, you're stumbling upon like a treasure hoard or something. You're not like getting like, oh, this really cool like unique shotgun or something by grinding the lock on this room. You're just getting, just a few more of the basic supplies items, which is helpful, especially if you're running more of a crafting heavy build like I was trying to do in this playthrough, making more sentry turrets and stuff. But whew, man, my moves are impeccable. Just right up in a guy's face, missing him at point blank multiple times while he shoots me. Oh, that was cool. Was that a mind control bolt killing the guy instantly? That was interesting. these guys kind of look like uh, Isaac from Dead Space. They got like similar brown colors to the armor. I think that the helmets are like a little bit there, not really, but then the circular lights on the front look kind of like the back of Isaac's suit, if I remember correctly. Um, it's been a while since I played Dead Space, and I haven't played the remake yet. But I seem to remember. I guess there got to be at least one because I remember like the health bar or like your like meter for your stasis ability or whatever. I seem to remember that being in kind of a circle shape on Isaac's back. Yeah, because the health bar was down the spine, so the circle had to be stasis or something. And Dead Space is really good. Maybe I should put that on a list of things to play after I finish up Rage. We'll see. We'll see. Man, this little area down here, it so looked like it wanted you to go out and explore, and then there was just like nothing. Sometimes you gotta wonder if that's some of that GoldenEye anti-game design, where they just like are like, what's something that would logically be here, but it's gonna have no benefit to the game? Let's put that in there, just to make it feel more realistic, or to give the player like more stuff to try to look at, to like almost kind of like making it more of a maze in a way. Or if that's something where there was gonna be content, but then they ran out of time or whatever. I don't know. Again, a lot of what I'm saying here is conjecture. I do not actually know anything about the development of Rage, really, except that, who made it, more or less. And it seems weird that this room is like so quiet. It's kind of eerie. Oh my god. If there end up being jump cuts in this video, I apologize. It's just my computer will not stop sending notifications. I've got to figure out if I can suppress those in the future. But yeah, I'm probably gonna edit a lot of those out. I'm gonna get myself acquainted with some. Uh, it must have been a little bit of a silly conversation. I was talking over most of it, unfortunately, but gonna get myself acquainted with some video editing. I haven't tried to edit a video in a very long time, and I don't think I was very good back in the day. So we'll see. Hopefully, this makes it into YouTube in, well, not one piece, but I mean, I guess it'll kind of be one piece, but there'll be pieces taken out of it. I don't know if you like. It's a reconstituted hamburger one piece. I don't know. Yes, run at the man with a shotgun that shoots explosives, wielding a baseball bat that's on fire. That'll do well for you. You'd think that since these bandits are kind of like a type of engineer, they might be a bit smarter than the others, but Jesus Christ, this is so slow. Like I couldn't even get over to that guy. At least the blood mist explosion is pretty satisfying. Yeah, I think I'm remembering this was one of the rougher parts of the game for me. Just like these like pretty strong enemies with pretty good weapons in this room that I don't know, almost feels like it was designed for them to kill me pretty well. Which I mean, knowing id Software very well is a strong possibility. think past me is trying to figure out the best ammo to use here, not really coming up with what he thinks would be the ideal. Okay, Fat Boy pistol rounds. Interesting. I mean, they do pack quite a punch, but maybe not enough, especially not for someone who's bad at video games. Oh yeah, those big heavy guys. Like, did I have nail gun ammo? Because they look pretty similar to those guys in the Scorchers. I remember just deleting dudes with the nail gun. Or if I was a better shot, I could actually hit the tank on his back and make him explode. That's probably the way that this is intended to go. Especially since he like turns. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, he like kind of turns around when you shoot him. It seems like. So that's probably the intention, to have you shoot the tank so that he explodes. There's just still so many guys in this room, and there's guys up on the upper level. This feels like the enemies have lured you into a choke point, and like they're going to throw every guy at you to try to use it to their advantage. They're yelling Russian words at me that sound like they're mean, but I don't know Russian, so I don't know if they're actually being mean. But they probably are, using context clues and everything. Did you hear that guy's like pain scream? Like "Yahoo!" I should say that next time I like stub my toe or something. Wow, they closed that door real quick behind me. And this room looks exactly like that other one that was eerily quiet. I mean, Redstone's not exactly the nicest guy, but I don't know. He seems like you kind of need to get some clout with him. Okay, boss time. But I feel like as far as bosses go, this guy is like pretty underwhelming. Like, yeah, you see how fast his health is going down. He like basically isn't much stronger than the big like flamethrower guys. Like, earlier in the game we were fighting Precious. Is that what it's called? The giant mutant when we get the rocket launcher. Yeah, like that fight. Like you're fighting this giant enemy that can like smash you, and like there's so much grandeur to it. And then this guy is just like, I'm an elite with a boss health bar. But we got the power back to Subway Town now, so that should be useful. Did you not just see me kill the guy with a boss health bar, even though he didn't necessarily deserve it? What do you think you're gonna do? Hi. As you say, where did you go? Did you go through that door really quickly? Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, this part where I think you just gotta stay alive for a while the valves turn or something? Or like you gotta hold, I don't... Oh, maybe, oh no, maybe hitting those things. Oh, they're the traps. I don't even think I noticed the labels on the floor before. Fire, electro, chop. But yeah, this is a fun part where you can use like their traps against them to fight these guys. I mean, this feels like really janky and like the characters aren't really lining up. Like, why is that fire not hitting him? Why aren't there more people coming through to hit with the chopper? That kind of thing. Oh, oh, he's not quite dead yet. There we go. Really, you think you heard something with these mechanical blades whirling around, this fire shooting out. Okay, now we got some more people coming, but idiot. He just walked right. Another idiot. I guess they didn't program the AI to respond to the traps at all. And hopefully I'll get some kind of payout. Oh yeah, that sky definitely looks pretty two-dimensional. I mean, we are getting to where this game came out in 2011, right? So this game is getting to be like 12 years old at this point. And, trying to display stuff on the scale it is with the like, graphical fidelity it was going for, like, and especially since, like, I mean, I guess the art style is like kind of stylized, but not like Team Fortress 2 stylized. Like it definitely makes sense that it's kind of showing its age, and like even like TF2 definitely shows its age in some ways, but it looks super good. I I mean this is a tired conversation, but like strong art styles last way longer than stuff that just focuses on being like technically high res and like more pixels in your textures or whatever. I'm not doing very well driving back to Subway Town at all. Maybe the third time will be the charm here. Okay, just actually fighting them. That's smart. Except they got shields, so I'm just wasting a bunch of ammo trying to shoot them. Okay, okay, there's one. Is that one dead? Okay. That tower can't follow us, so we'll be fine. Health is pretty low, though. We might still be in danger. I mean, it says danger for sure. Whew. We got like a tiny, tiny little like Dorito of health left. We got even. I'm definitely not happy back in the day either. Just ugh. All right, all right. Get your game face on. Put your driving gloves on your fingies. Uh, get your trigger fingers itchy. We are going to make it back to Subway Town this time. Knock on wood. I don't know if you heard that. I have a nice wooden desk. Oop! Didn't mean to pause it. I love that little piece of sound design, and the like boom boom whenever you like get a new mission. Okay, okay, using some patented tech of just jump out of the car before it dies. It seems kind of risky to get back into it, but it worked out. We can, get the car repaired and everything is a-okay. I just kind of realized a lot of the characters in this game are either bald or wearing hats. I have to wonder if that is because they didn't want to invest that much time in hair. Although there are some characters that have hair out, like I'm trying to remember. Isn't there like the Well, I guess the DLC girl has her hair out, but again, it's DLC separate development time. But isn't one of the characters in the main story, does she have like a blue bandana, but like most of her hair is coming out the back? I forget. It's the German moonshine guy. At least I think he's German. Maybe like Prussian or something. I don't know. Some kind of Eastern European. I'm bad at geography. This should be the way to Redstone's office, if I remember. Yeah, just over to the left. Come on, there you go. Oh, the authorities here. That's not good. I was supposed to report to Redstone. Yes, I just saw them. Thank you very much. Um, so what? Yeah, I definitely seemed confused down like back in the day too. Like I'm like, okay, but if Redstone's office is locked, how do I turn in this quest? Hi, Rourke. Yeah, this seems extremely unclear. Like, if I'm confused back in the day and confused now, it must be like, I guess we're gonna take a moment to buy from Sue. He's got some hair out. Okay. Um, I almost feel like maybe the shop across the way with the girl that flirts with you. Yeah, Janie. Is this where I need to go? Is that hair sticking out? I guess so. Yeah, no mission progression in here. But good to stock up. And it's kind of interesting the ammo is still so cheap when you get so much money at this point in the game. It almost feels like they would have made, Subway Town's economy worse and had things more expensive. Although, I guess from a lore perspective, that doesn't really make sense because you think a tiny settlements would have more trouble getting stuff. Just buy ammo for a little bit of everything. You never know what we're gonna need. I think at this point I'm thinking I'm probably going into the final part of the game, so smoke them if you got them, I guess. Okay, now my money is going down really low, but like, what else am I gonna spend it on? All right, you can only make a couple more purchases. Hurry up, past peanut buffer. Ooh, I'm really taking my time deciding what to buy here, huh?
Pleasure doing business with you.
Thanks, Janie. But how do I resolve this mission? It's it was still tallying up all the items I bought. Yeah, I guess I figure might as well go back to the resistance since that's supposed to be the driving like faction of the plot at this point. Dr. Cadence.
The human mutations weren't caused by cosmic radiation from the asteroid hit. Mutants were created by the Authority experimenting with nanodroids and humans.
Hmm.
The failures were rejected and discarded into the wasteland like trash left to reproduce
So the Authority is even more evil than we thought.
I joined the Resistance after working with General Cross in the Old City. Had to, especially after I saw that the nanotraits might be used to save the mutants, not control them. My research shows that the nanotraits can be reprogrammed to perform more of the basic sub-neurological functions. If that can really be done, and if they were implanted in the mutants, we may be able to reverse the mutational progress.
Hmm.
Captain Martians allowed me to set up a small lab here to run my experiments and tests.
I guess that never really came to fruition because that hasn't really been a thing in Rage 2 so far. I don't know, maybe in the later parts of the game that'll become relevant, but if anything, it just seems like mutants have become worse.
As the captain has told you earlier, getting the information off your ID drive is critical for us. But there are some sectors that I can't access with a single decryptor I have. I'm gonna need to run two decryptors in parallel if I'm running into those sectors, and that's where you come in.
Okay.
Captain's got a contact in the north. He's heard rumors that an Ark emerged in the Jackal Valley. And let me tell you, if the Jackals were the first people those Ark survivors met, then they were dead in minutes. But the important thing is that the Jackals probably left that Ark intact, which means you should be able to recover the decryptor and get it back here. So, I need you to go north to the Jackal Valley, find the Ark if it's there, and get that decryptor. The Jackals are a dangerous bunch of bandits. You watch yourself.
It actually sounds like a pretty substantial side quest. Or maybe that's part of the main quest. Portland.
You sure made a rep for yourself. Good job banging up those bandits. I'd say you're a regular tough guy.
Not an irregular tough guy. I mean, I do have robots in my blood that repair my wounds, but I guess that's pretty regular. Marshall.
Unlocking the data on your hydrant. Unlocking the data on your ID drive.
Excuse me?
Resistance. Each drive contains another piece of the puzzle. Sarge should be able to decrypt it once he has the necessary equipment.
Okay, Steve. Bloom. I guess getting the drive for Lassard is the story mission. Guess I'm looking to clean up some side quests here, since it seems like I'm getting to the end of the game. Although, as we know, there's still an hour left in this video, and then the half an hour or so the other one. So, although I guess if I am doing side quests, that probably eats up a lot of the time. Oh boy, more racing. The best part of this. I mean, the racing isn't like bad. It's just kind of I feel like. I don't know. I feel like the shooting is the draw of this game for me. I think the racing stuff works thematically. It's just I don't know. You're talking a lot of big game. Didn't I beat you before? I don't know. I don't actually remember this character, but. Okay, Mr. Wearing Cloud Strife gloves. Meteor Crater races. Is this a safe place to race? I mean, supposedly these were pretty radioactive. I don't know, maybe that's decayed? Oof. That's gonna cost me a lot of time. So is that... I'm just not good at any part of this game, am I? Except for looting enemies before they hit the ground. That's something I feel like I got kind of good at. Just like, oh, recognizing this man's dead, I'm gonna just turn his pockets inside out while he's falling. Turn not quite tight enough. Probably could use the handbrake a bit more. Which way do I go? Okay. That was confusing for me for a moment. I don't know, I guess it's really not that important because I'm not actually playing the game right now, but... almost made that turn well. Okay, we're pretty well ahead of Starkey. Okay. Yeah, wow, we were pretty far ahead. We got the Monarch, which is just a new car, like...
I really can't believe you beat me. Must have been something I ate. Made me drive all crazy.
Haha.
Here's the keys to the car. Find it in your garage. Now I'm gonna get another one. And I'll be back. You just wait.
I mean, do you want to just get a cooler car to bet it on a race that I'm gonna win anyway? Like, if you're just giving me more and more cars, I guess I won't say no. Okay, I guess we're settling on going for the decryptor now. Let's take the Monarch for a spin, why not? The Monarch has a third weapon, the pulse cannon. Well, there's the machine gun. Oh, I think I was trying to swap weapons, but I hit the exit vehicle button by mistake. Whoops. Oh, that's a rocket. Or maybe that was the pulse. No, that didn't look like it. Maybe it was just warning me the pulse ammo was low when I switched to it. Starkey had this out on the racetrack? That seems like he could have easily cheated. Well, I mean, people would know that he was cheating, but like, he could have just whipped this out and just destroyed people on the track. Do they not have regulations for the racing league in this world? Ooh, this place looks foreboding. If they wanted to scare off intruders, this probably does a pretty good job. Like if I just saw that like in the middle of the city somewhere, I'd be like, I don't want to drive by this place. I want to take another route to work. And I think that this area looks really cool. I don't know. I guess something about like cliffs with a bunch of like precarious walkways between them speaks to me, but I don't know. That's just always a design I kind of respond to. The like the wind on the mist and stuff up there looks pretty cool. I hear something that sounds like an enemy. Oh, there you go. Umana to you too? Oof. Yeah. Getting nearly killed while shooting someone definitely is not a good good sniper skill. I'm definitely not a professional that has standards. Jesus. So at least I've got bandages that I guess I just inject in my bloodstream to heal. There's a guy throwing fireballs way up there. So now that I'm looking at it, I guess this does have a pretty similar mechanic to the playing the sniper in TF2, where like the little meter goes up to tell you when you're at like full power for your shots, which like is something that doesn't really make sense for like real life equivalency, because like what kind of gun needs to charge up to shoot its bullet better? But I hope there isn't actually a gun that does that, because then I'll look dumb. But that doesn't sound like something that would be a thing. Like as far as I know, all guns work just by like hitting the back of the bullet to spark the gunpowder to make the bullet fly out. I don't know. I'm not an expert on guns by any stretch. But I mean, I guess. Well, I guess shotguns still. Yeah, the slugs have the little thing on the back too, so basically works the same, I think. Ooh, that guy's leg is going crazy. Did you see that? Man, these nails definitely are not feeling as powerful as I feel like they should. I mean, these guys are like shirtless, and I'm shooting just a bunch of like giant metal nails at them. Like, how are they not dying immediately? Oh, I think I'm saying the on the side there, it kind of looks like a little smiley face, like when I put the rebar on. Oop, what am I doing? All right, all right, yeah. See, look, little smiley face. Okay, I think that's enough demonstrations. I guess not. That's interesting that if you're swapping your weapon entirely, you don't have to worry about swapping the ammo. That's interesting. I wonder if that's faster, or if switching a weapon is the same speed as switching ammo types. Just really had to make sure we got a good look at the little smiley face. Speaking of faces, in the rebar launcher, this like cylinder looks kind of like a spool at the top with like the look kind of like teeth going together. That looks a lot like Chainsaw Man's mouth to me. Like when Denji combines with the or not. Well, I guess he's usually combined when he like activates his chainsaw powers, and then he has like the big chainsaw head. I don't know. His teeth kind of look like that to me, or I guess that looks kind of like his teeth to me. I don't know. Apparently, there's been some controversy about the Chainsaw Man anime, but like I enjoyed it. I I have not read the manga or the comics. I mean, don't fret about it. Manga is just comics from Japan, and anime is just cartoons from Japan. But yeah, I've not read Chainsaw Man. I've only watched it, and like Oh, that was cool. Where like the rebar like pinned him to the wall, and then I grabbed the rebar and he fell down. Um, but like I really enjoyed the show. I thought it was you know funny and really interesting, and like uh, did some like really interesting stuff, kind of like deconstructing tropes and things. I feel like, but um, I don't know. Apparently, there were quote unquote fans calling for like the show to be redone with a different studio. And like, okay, I mean, I will admit some of the episodes the animation did look a little weird, but like for the most part, like it still looked really good. It had really cool fight scenes. The story was really cool. I don't know if like I don't really know how much it's deviated from the comic. Um, but according to my roommate who's watched it or who read it and then watched it with me, it sounded like it wasn't really that different. Although the finale might have implied that it's going to get different. I don't know. But I mean, just I liked this first season of Chainsaw Man. I really think people are blowing things out of proportion if they want it to be remade. Uh, so hopefully people won't give into, or when I say people, I mean the studio. Hopefully they won't give into that pressure and they'll just keep on with what they're doing because it seems like it'd be such a waste to just do it all over again. Yeah, excuse me. I guess my throat's not used to doing this much talking anymore. Gonna have to get those skills back up, or start having some tea ready to, like some like herbal tea maybe, ready to soothe me. Is this a zip line? Yes. Okay. I I love the ragdoll physics in this game. Like just something about the way people like flip around when you hit them with the rebar and stuff. It's really satisfying. Who is shooting at me from where? Okay, that definitely came from the right, but there's this guy up here. Oh, hello, Mr. Hammer. Okay, that wasn't too bad. I guess the guy had a rocket launcher or something. It was kind of hard to tell. And I really do like the rebar launcher. It's like a one hit kill on most enemies with body shots. It's just really slow to reload. It's almost kind of like a stronger sniper rifle, but you have to reload after every shot. Sure, pick a flower. Why? I don't know how flowers growing out of rocks, but okay. There is someone left. There we go. I think there's a guy up on the roof too. Oh, he fell. You're not gonna be able to see him through there. Okay. Now we can just take the elevator up, but I'm evidently talking about something there. Alright, come on. You can do it. Just go in the elevator. Ah, there we go. You did it. I'm proud of you. Hopefully this elevator won't fall like the last one did. Got a little bit of rotate action on it. That's interesting. I wonder if they're speaking an actual language or if this was just gibberish made up to like sound kind of like something. I honestly don't know if it was his axe or my shotgun that made that explode. I mean, I guess logistically it'd make more sense to be the shotgun, but I don't know. Toaster. Not sure if anyone's concerned with making toast in this world. Men coming out of holes in the ground. What is this? Whack-a-mole? I don't know. I felt like I had a joke for that, but then it didn't really go anywhere. Why are you guys just talking over each other? Come on. Be polite. While you're trying to kill me, be polite. Whew. That axe went like right past my face. Jelly screen. Did I just see that guy pop in? I feel like he popped in. What an incredible shot. Oh my god. I'm still just in awe of how terrible I am at shooting in this game. Is that a bomb? Dynamite balloon. That'd be fun if it ever lined up with anyone. of does sort of remind me of towards the end of Resident Evil 7 when you're like in the caves, especially that one part where you kind of are doing like a spiral around the outside of the room. It just kind of has those vibes to me. I love how I hit him in the shin and he just went flying. Ooh, acrobatic boy. But that's not going to save you from your knee getting destroyed and that killing you. Oh, hi, ladder. I was not expecting that to be usable. Okay. Oh, well, I sure didn't use it properly. Kind of surprised that missed. I guess it went like right under his elbow. There we go. Oh. Lost some frames there, I guess. Ooh. Why are ladders so hard to use? Hmm. I don't know if it's actually like giving me any benefit coming up here. You know what? This also gives me vibes of in Resident Evil 4. It's at the start of Chapter 2. Um, when you like wake up in that little house and the merchant's outside and you get the sniper rifle for the first time. The like the scaffolding in that like section that leads up to the exit to that little area. That also kind of looks like this. There are so many places in this level where like enemies can see you and start attacking at you, and you'll just like spin around and be like, "Where are you?" Yeah, you can. I mean, I wouldn't advise it, but you could make a drinking game out of this. Like, take a shot every time I miss a shot. Is this gonna work? Ooh, nice. I wasn't sure if that had a hitbox or not, or if like that hole was actually a hole in the geometry. That almost kind of sounded like the Scratchy from Itchy and Scratchy from The Simpsons. I don't know. Maybe I misheard, but it just sounded like just like two of him screaming at once. Or could have been a bird outside. I really don't know. Maka Blodo Umana. I'm gonna get that on a t-shirt. I probably shouldn't get that on a t-shirt. Man, they really just like closing doors right behind me in these later parts of the game, huh? Okay. I thought I was about to die there, but I had bandages. Also, I've got 2 charges of defib. That should be fine. I wonder if it's possible to get more defib in this game. I don't think so, because I think we basically did like, I mean, there aren't many side quests that really give you much of anything, but I think we did all the ones that do. And I think it's just, the story quests that give you the 2 charges and that's it. Although the way the HUD's organized there, it looks like you get quite a few. Maybe that was intended at some point. More of my conjecture onto the development of this game. Maybe it was like a Mega Man E-Tanks situation, or a Metroid power tank. Is that what they call them? Where you just get another health bar. Maybe those were supposed to be like collectible throughout the world. Man, this arc didn't really do that well, huh? Kind of falling apart. And, got the fancy Mountain Dew. Let's go. Man, if all you wanted was Mountain Dew, Lazard, I could have just like gone to the store. They probably sell Mountain Dew in I don't know, like Janie's shop in Subway Town or something. Yes, I love Aerial Bike Simulator 2011. I mean, at least they give you a method of like backtracking through most of the level without actually having to walk it. That's kind of nice. Oh, that reminded me because it's kind of like, to my understanding, what the skyhooks are like in Bioshock Infinite. I've not actually played Infinite, but I have it. Um, if I actually go much farther with all this, which I right now I am intending to keep recording and making content and stuff. So if, whenever I get around to wrapping up Rage 2 and I'm evaluating what to play next, Bioshock Infinite would definitely be something interesting on the docket because like I have played through 1 and 2 and I enjoy those games quite a bit, and I know Infinite like makes some changes that are kind of divisive. And I hear pretty mixed things about Infinite, honestly. But I don't know. I think it should be interesting. I think like the plot sounds really cool. If it is what I think it is, because I've gotten like slightly spoiled on it, but not like fully. Um, I have no idea why I'm like talking about the slopes there or what's going on. Anyway, let's get this Mountain Dew back to Lassard, huh? I'm not going the right way. There's some flowers I could pick there, but I don't think I am. Don't want to risk getting shot by the authority. And they make Subway Town, or well, I guess technically Subway Town is like the undercity of this other city. But they make it look like there's so much going on there. It's kind of a shame that we can't actually go up to that city and see what's going on. I don't think I've ever paid it much mind, but there was a rating of like 3 skulls on that vehicle. Is that like a rating of like my performance of the vehicle? Is that a rating of like how much damage output it can do? I don't know. It's interesting.
Excellent work. Just give me a second to analyze this data.
I think he has the same icon on his shirt that were on those power boxes that I was hitting with the electricity before.
Take a look at this. Incredible. Incredible's right. This is exactly what we've been waiting for. It is quite simply the key to everything. The location, codes, and re-entry times for every arc buried on Earth is right here. This data is nothing less than a second chance for civilization. Maybe our last chance. With this, we can strike at the heart of the Authority. We can use the codes in your ID drive to free all the arcs that the Authority has imprisoned beneath the Earth. For years, we've developed plans to get someone inside Capital Prime, into the heart of the monster. We never had the capability to deliver a fatal blow. Until today. If there's a future, it begins with this. The war starts now.
The war starts now.
We need access to the Eastern lands. The only way to do that is by knocking out the Authority's security bridge. It's important. We've got a plan worked out for that.
Kind of seems like we've been at war, but
Now, finally get to hit the Authority. Waiting for this. You ready?
I guess so.
Get across the bridge and into the Eastern lands. You'll need to knock out the power generator that controls the defenses. Trick is, the only safe way to access the bridge is down the ravine and up the lift. Not easy. Once you're around the defenses, you'll be able to blow the generator to hell. I'll give you the explosive charges. You just need to make it down the ravine alive. Got all that?
Oh, that's all?
The Authority has a small blockade near the ravine entrance in the north. Once you blow that, know you're covered. Don't waste time. Get down the ravine and to the bridge as quickly as possible.
I'm not sure his voice quite matches his body. Like he sounds more like a gruff businessman than like the big strong guy of a resistance group. I don't know. What am I doing here? Did I just forget that this is where I entered the city? I don't know. I assume he'll just take me back to the northern wasteland, or whatever, where the first half or so of the game took place. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think I've in my like 2.5 or so playthroughs of this game. I don't think I ever actually went back. Yeah, I don't think so. So I don't know if things changed. I mean, honestly, I kind of doubt it. But it'd be really cool if there was just like a bunch of content I've never seen because it's back there. Almost kind of like Pokemon Gold and Silver when you go back to Kanto and like do like a kind of like an alternate version of the first game. I mean, I guess not like lore wise, but gameplay wise, that's essentially what it is. That'd be kind of neat. Okay, that had a pretty generous fuse. Well, that's a lot of muties. And just bowl through them. It's an interesting structure. Is it just a fancy elevator? Yeah, looks like it. Okay, I'm remembering this part now. This part, I don't know, just kind of feels like filler. It's like, oh, you've gotta destroy these generators before you can get into the base. I don't know. Maybe I'm just mad because the ending is anticlimactic. You'll see what I mean when we get there. But yeah, this game just kind of ends. Oh, I forgot there were grenades. Did that guy say Kyle? Is the other generator just right over there? That almost looks like an arc chest from the second game. Or no, actually it looks more like in Doom 2016, the chests where you get the Praetor upgrades, I think. Yeah, that looks so much like an object that can be looted. That was a decent. Why is there a car? You ever just pass out for a second and then just wake up and there's a car like 10 feet from you? No, just me. Okay. Ooh, more cards for that game we don't play. I'm not sure. Yeah, running around here with that vehicle is not a good idea. And at least the towing provides like a get out of jail free card. I think we should be getting really close to where I go to the entrance to the final level now. I think it's literally just turn this into Portman and then drive over there. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of time left in this video. And then we'll be able to cap it off with the other. And that'll be Rage, baby.
As I dig deeper into the authority data, I've run across a number of entries alluding to some sort of weaponized mutants or meta soldiers. I'm not sure exactly what that means. The data is heavily encrypted, but I definitely suspect that the authority is working on creating an army of mutants and somehow using nanotraits to control them.
Is that what the like the pale white mutants with the mechanical limbs are in the second game?
Great work. That'll make them think twice about getting too far from base. Now, before you go running into Capital Prime, I think you should take some extra firepower with you. Grab that Authority pulse cannon. It's rated for dead god.
I guess it's like the equivalent of the BFG.
Captain Marshall's got all the plans in
A
place.
BFG rounds, yep.
Ready to go.
You've done a great job, soldier. But now, it gets serious. One last mission for you. Codes are ready. You'll be able to walk right in. Uploading them to you now, sir. This is it. What we've been planning for so many years coming. But now, we will be able to hit the Authority where it hurts. You'll have to get inside the heart of the Authority itself, Capital Prime. Get to the ARC control system and upload the data from your ID drive. That'll trigger the emergence of the remaining ARCs. No one has ever entered Capital Prime and returned. No one knows what could be waiting for you. But if you were successful at raising the remaining ARCs, then we've got plans and people in place, ready to support those that emerge. Ready to build an army to fight the Authority. Days ahead won't be easy. They still have a massive technological edge. No one knows the size of the mutant force they're building. But there's hope. Because of what you are about to do, there's a chance to change the course of mankind forever.
You got it, Steve Bloom.
Take this code cipher. You'll be able to access any personnel entrance near Capital Prime's main gate. The entrance will be heavily guarded. I know you can do it. Mankind's future depends on you now. Godspeed, soldier.
Oh, hey, Captain Marshall's not wearing a hat at all,
There's nothing left for you to do here.
but he's got like really short
Take
hair.
the fight to the heart of Capital Prime. Good luck. There's nothing left for you to do here. Take the fight to the heart of Capital Prime.
You've done so much for us already, and now I can't believe you're going into Capital Prime. No one knows what's in there, but you can be sure that the Authority will have something we haven't seen yet. The data clearly shows that they were working on something big, some kind of mutant army or super weapon. Just be careful, and good luck. We need you with us. We are all counting on you. Good luck.
Thanks. Alright, time to take a short drive to the rest of my life. I think we'll see, but I think what's his Nicholas Rains, I think that's the character's name. I think he's not long for this world. I'm looking at side quests again, but abandoned distillery, really? I thought I had already done that side quest. I guess we got one more pit stop before the end of the game. I got that mixed up with the caves at the start of the Scorchers DLC. I was expecting to see a mushroom there. Either this mission goes really quick, or I misinformed myself about how many episodes were left, because I distinctly remember where the second to last one ends. Huh. Oh yes, the buckets. Oh, ladders are so difficult. There we go. This pulse cannon really kind of gives me Doom 3 vibes. Which, I mean, makes a lot of sense. You know, it's a shooter made by the same company using an evolution of the same engine. I think also just like the shades of gray that it uses. I think a lot of stuff in Doom 3 was just gray, from what I remember. Is this just the mission where I like fill up the bottle while a bunch of mutants are coming after me? Take the thief's empty jugs for yourself. Oh, someone was trying to steal the moonshine. I see. Or I'm sorry, blue shine, not moonshine. Guess they don't have the moon anymore. I think I'm going the wrong way. Yeah, so someone was trying to steal the blue shine, so we used their mugs to get blue shine. I don't know, it doesn't really make sense. You gotta hit the switch right there. Thank you. I do really like how they gave the mutants the ability to climb up walls and stuff. I don't know how like dynamic it is, or if they're just like specifically scripted to do this kind of thing. But you know, it's neat that they make you kind of think about the level and how the enemies can move about it differently than like the bandits and the authority do. That's quite possibly my worst shot ever. Why do I have to fill two? Man, this side quest definitely feels like filler. It's like go back to a level you've already been to. I feel like there was a jug filling section of that level. Just do that again twice in a row for reasons. let's take that blue shine back to the Eastern European guy. Let's see if I can conquer the ladder. Okay, so far so good. Alright, I'm so proud of Past Me. I figured out how to use a ladder. Can I not fit? Okay. Okay, so that did wrap up pretty quick. So yeah, I think this is ending off where I thought it was going to. We're in the clear. I didn't mix up the episodes. I hope. Hmm. Well, we'll see pretty soon here. Wait, where is it telling me to take the blue shine? Wasn't Yeah, Subway Town was right there. I guess it's just taking us to the final mission now. I guess we're not even gonna turn in the blue shine. Okay. Yeah, because that looks like Capital Prime right there. Yep, there's that tunnel I remember ending on. Well, yeah, this is just about where I'm wrapping up on that episode. But of course, you know, the benefit of being the future, we know that the next episode is really short, so I'm just gonna tack it on. Yeah, I guess that. Nah. I'm going to do a little switcheroo. I'm gonna swap the videos. I'll probably edit this so that it's a little less rambly, but yeah, we're gonna switcheroo, go to the next part, and I'll be back in a moment.